You have to try it. Try it by it, guys. Try by that pizza. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing pizza dough. And this is a real simple way to make a pizza dough. We're going to take a half a cup, super simple, I want to make it easy. Half a cup of warm water. It needs to be right around anywhere between 105 and 110, but don't go over 110. Mine's about 108. I'm going to go ahead and add 1 teaspoon of sugar. All right, 1 teaspoon of sugar going in. All right, let's go ahead and stir that up nice and good. All right. So now what we're going to do is what I did also is I preheated the pan by keeping some hot water in this pan, just so that way I'm not fighting the fact that when I put my warm water in there, the pan's cold and it's going to cool it down. We don't want that happening. Okay, so we mixed up our water and our sugar, so that way we've got kind of like some sweet water down there, which is kind of cool. Now I'm going to take this active dry yeast. It's just a small amount of yeast, just one of these little individual packages. I'll go ahead and put I'll put the stats and all that stuff on the screen, that way you guys can figure out where to buy it, and put a description down below. All right, so we're gonna add that. Let's cut this little guy off up here. All right, here goes. So I'm adding the yeast right into the sugar water. And you know what? I'll give it a little bit of a stir, and then I'm gonna leave it there for about 10 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes. Because what I wanna see is I wanna see the yeast acting crazy. As you can see, right now it just looks like clumpiness. Nothing's really going on. Just keep your eye on it. Set the timer for 10 minutes over here. That way I know that when 10 minutes has passed, this is gonna start changing form. It should start looking like a piece of bread. So keep your eye on it, guys. Hope you guys like pizza. Ever since we've been making this dough, making our own sauce, making our own pizzas at home, nobody will eat pizza out anymore. It's just below standards. When you start making your own pizza, it's a game changer. Get good at it. It becomes like an art form. And that's, so I tell you, man, like, it's not easy at first because like it's kind of intimidating, but if you follow this instructions, exactly what I just showed you, you'll make incredible pizza. This is the dough portion of the video, making pizza dough. So look at this. What the heck? It's incredible. You just saw a live explosion right on. That's some really, really good yeast. So this yeast that I bought from Walmart is the Fleischmann's active dry yeast. Not sponsored by Fleischmann's, that's for sure. Make sure you guys hit that like button, because I really, really want to get this channel going. Inspire me to make some more videos. Let's do this. If you feel like your yeast is good, you really don't need to wait. The flour that I'm using is a 00 flour. And that's the best you can get, is some type of 00 flour if you're gonna make pizza. Bread flour is really good as well. And then you can also use all-purpose flour. But I just like the taste of the 00 and the bread flour. It's a little more high in protein, get a little more rise out of it, a little more action. All right, guys, so with our mixer, we're gonna go ahead and add in, I went ahead and prepared my flour prior to this. So this is 1.5 cups of flour. Like I said, bread flour is great. King Arthur's makes a great brand. You can get it at Walmart for like $3 or $4, or on Amazon. And 00 flour is what this is. And I'll put the brand up on the deal, because I don't remember the name of it, but it's really good stuff. And I went ahead and added a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And the salt that I use, you don't have to get fancy if you don't want to, but I picked this up at Ross. And it's some Himalayan pink salt. Super, super rad. So I went ahead and put in a quarter teaspoon of that to mix in with the flour. And a lot of people like to just pour a little bit of flour in at a time. Sometimes I'll do it all. Depends on my mood. So we're gonna add about, let's It's at about half, maybe a little bit more. And this is a stand mixer. And I'm gonna go ahead and add in, whoops, we're gonna add in 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil right into the mix. All right. And sometimes when you're making flour, we're gonna try to knead this for about 6 to 8 minutes right here. So I'm gonna set the timer. I got the timer set for 6 minutes right now. Okay. And sometimes I'll add a tiny bit more water just to loosen things up. But you want to make sure that you keep that consistency with the warm water. You know, don't put anything in too hot. Don't put anything too cold. When you put in something too hot, it just kills the yeast. And then you'll get the rise will stop happening. I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of the flour now. Let's go ahead and unlock the mixer. Starting to look like cookie dough. Yay. If you like cookies, let me know. I'll make some cookies for us too. You guys can make this pizza, I'm telling you, and be the best pizza maker you've ever made. Sorry I'm taking so long, but I mean, I think that an in-depth video is not a bad idea when it comes to making good old food. All right, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna lock it back down. And I just stick it on level 1. All right, guys, so it's been about 6 to 7 minutes, and our dough looks like it's pretty much ready, I would say. Another thing you want to do is you want to take your bowl that you're going to use to store your dough in. You want to use a little bit of vegetable oil. I don't like to use olive oil here because it's got too much flavor. So just a tad of vegetable oil inside your bowl here. That way when you put your dough in here to rise, it doesn't stick. You don't want it to stick to the sides or whatever. So let's go ahead and we're going to stop this. All right, we're going to pull it out. See what we're dealing with here. So we just got like a nice soft dough. You touch it and it just kind of bounces back a little bit at you. It's nice and soft. All right, guys. So what I like to do when it gets to this point is you can feel how soft the dough is. It just feels really buttery soft. So I like to just take each side and just kind of keep folding it over towards the center, like this. Just have to keep folding. And then when I get it all to the center, I just kind of make this little pinch, like this. So the bottom kind of looks like you sealed it. Then flip it, and now you're gonna see the smoothness of the dough. You're gonna get this beautiful little smooth. The more you pull it like this, you kind of push your hands down and you spin. And when you do, you get a gorgeous, beautiful, gorgeous Italian ball, is what I would call it. Now you're gonna take your bowl, flip it like this on the other side first, and then flip it back to the normal, like that, okay? Then what you're gonna do, you're gonna cover this with like a damp cloth. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that dough, as you can see, and I'm gonna stick it in a warm place, and let's see what happens in 1 hour. It's been about, I wanna say about 90 minutes. And as you'll see here, the dough has definitely risen. The entire bowl is now almost filled with a different looking deal. What you want to do with a clean hand, you want to smash out all of the gas out of the dough. So you're just going to go like this. Just kind of punch it like this. All right? Until you kind of feel like all the gas is out of there. And then what I like to do, we're going to be doing a parchment paper pizza. It's a little bit easier, guys. I have a pizza peel and I have a stone, but I don't want you to get lost in that when making this pizza, because that can throw people off when making pizza for the first time. So what we're going to be using is simple parchment paper. Put yourself a nice good portion of parchment paper down on the wood, and take a little bit of flour if you want to. Don't really need to use much flour, but this is just for the dough. This is just so the dough behaves a little bit. All right, so not too much. Okay, and then I like to take and put a little bit of more more dough right in here on top of this, just so it's not so sticky. All right, so we've done that. We've got ourselves a little bit of flour. I don't mean to call this dough, guys, flour. Put a little more flour onto the dough. Now we're just gonna take this and we're gonna push it out onto our board. Okay, put our bowl to the side. And now what we're looking for, guys, is something real simple. You just wanna take your hands, start in the center, all right? And you just kind of want to start pushing down like this and pushing outward. And now what you're going to do, I like to just spin the parchment paper. Makes it a little bit easier, but do the same thing on this side. Just push it out. Turn it this way now. Keep pushing from the center outward. That way you don't end up with this lumpy pizza. Okay? And then we'll do the same thing. We'll go over to this other side. And you just want to keep pushing it. A lot of people like to pick up the pizza. I always feel like when I do that, not really sure what happens, but sometimes I do that and it just doesn't work out for the best. It starts to get too thin in the center. All right, so all you're looking for is just to kind of get yourself a nice round looking pie like this. And if you like big crust, you can actually take and roll your crust if you'd like to. I don't like crust to be too thick, so we're just going to keep ours just like this. All right. When you're all done, you should have something that looks very round, as you can see. Okay. So we've got the preheat going on the oven. We've got it at 550 degrees, however high your oven will go, because we know that pizza likes to cook on a very high heat. If you're going to use a stone, you want to make sure that you heat your stone up for at least 30 minutes, I would say. All right, so now I got to grate some cheese, guys. All right, guys, so for the cheese, what I like to use is Great Value brand from Walmart because it's just delicious, but you can definitely buy better cheeses. I like to use half pepper jack and about half of the mozzarella. And you can use any brand you want. It's just I kind of get a kick out of the fact that you can buy this for $1.68 a block. And I like to use about, I would say, that much of each one. So let's go ahead and get those cut up and into the grater, into the cheese grater. If you guys love cheese, then just smash the like button. I mean, who doesn't love cheese? So this is the mozzarella. Ooh, yeah, look at that. Beautiful mozzarella, gorgeous. All right, guys, so I like to make about 2 equal parts, pretty close anyway. 2 equal parts, one of the pepper jack, one of the mozzarella. The mozz. All right, and we're just gonna go like this, and just a simple grate. So as you can see, all of our cheese is now grated. What we're gonna do is we're gonna give it a good mix, like this. Give it a good toss, a little mix. Look at that beautiful cheese, look at it. Would you look at that? Oh, that's gorgeous. I love cheese, not gonna lie. And watch how I make my sauce right here. This is how you make the sauce. Super duper simple. Simple ingredients, start with this. I get these also from Walmart. They're made by Cento. They are San Marzano tomatoes, peeled tomatoes. They're from Italy. Don't skimp on this step. Get some kind of San Marzano tomatoes. I don't care if they're Cento or any other brand, but they need to say San Marzano, certified. All right, I'm gonna open these, be right back. And you also, don't use any of the juice. Just take the tomatoes out of this thing and stick it right in the deal. No juice. So it's not so impossible. I like to just scoop them out with a fork. I like to put them in something else first, like a bowl, and then just take the tomatoes by themselves, nothing else. Stick them right in there like that. So we got all of our San Marzanos. We didn't put all that stuff in there. There's some red juices in there we don't need. All right. All right, now that we've got that, I like to add, and you can do whatever you want here, but I like to add an entire tablespoon of sugar. Maybe a little less. Maybe about 3/4 of a tablespoon of sugar. And you know what? That's really just to your own likings, to be honest with you. I like mine, I don't like my sauce too tart. All right, now we're gonna take 1 teaspoon of freeze-dried oregano. All right, or just dried oregano, whatever that means, freeze-dried. Okay, we're gonna take that, put it right inside there like that. All right, and then this stuff right here, also made by Cento, is a tomato paste. It's like it's almost like toothpaste, but it's not toothpaste. It's tomato paste, but it's in the paste form. Let's see how this comes out. Ready? A little bit of a, put 1 in there, and then what do we got? Oops. We're gonna go ahead and try to get 2 of those in there. All right. So now that we've got 2 of those, 2 tablespoons of that, we should be good to go. You don't want to use too much of this because then it takes away the authentic, real flavor from the tomatoes. And we don't want that, do we? All right, guys, so that's simple. Oh wait, one important ingredient. More of that extra virgin olive oil. We want a 1/4 cup. Yep, a whole 1/4 cup. And then put that in there like that. Right into your deal. All right. Now we're going to take that and we are going to put on our lid, line it all up, put on that lid, turn on that power, and we're just going to go ahead and hit pulse. If you like your tomato-y, or if you like your pizza sauce a little chunky, well then you don't go that far with it. I like mine to be a little more smooth. Hey guys, it's that simple. It's easy as 1, 2, 3, baby. I like to get, you don't have to have this. It's just me being silly. But take this off here. Let's put this down a little bit. See what we're doing. And take this here, because I'm sloppy, I got the little deal there. You don't necessarily have to have that. But if you're out with your wife and you're at Ross and she's spending money, you might as well buy something. Just get involved in it. All right, guys. As you can see, that little thing wasn't needed. It just helps me guide it in. And there it is. Simple as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And there you have it. Your own sauce. Simple. Was that simple? Yeah, exactly. Put a lid on it. Put it in your fridge and enjoy. All right, guys. Another step that I like to do is I like to take some extra virgin olive oil, whatever you got. But get that olive oil and let's see, what do I got? We can just put the olive oil in something small, like a little bowl or something like this, nothing too crazy. And then I'm just gonna take your little brush here, get a little bit of that olive oil, just paint around the outside, you know, get a little bit of that olive oil on the edge of this pizza. That way your crust just turns into like a champion crust. Get a little more of that olive oil. I didn't get too much. I didn't get enough. All right, let's see. So we're just gonna paint a pretty good portion of the crust because you don't want to skimp here, guys. This is all flavor. So if you want a flavorful pizza, you can also skip this step if you don't want oil there. But if you want a real brown, you know, a crust that actually turns color on you, that's kind of what you want. All right. So now that we've got our olive oil on there, guys, we're going to move on and we're going to go ahead and get some of that pizza sauce on there. And let's see. All right. Probably can't see the colors that well on this camera because it's just an iPhone. And Just gonna take this, we're just gonna spread it around, guys. Give yourself a nice amount of sauce. There it is. All right, important. Once again, great value. Grated Parmesan. Just get a light coat right on top of that right now. Very important step for authentic tasting pizza. I do warn you though, once you make this pizza, no one is going to ever buy pizza from somewhere else in your house. Because I want you guys to see the cheese. You know, I could cover this thing in pepperoni. I could do all kinds of fancy stuff. I could put ham underneath the cheese, or I could put ham on top of the cheese. I could put Canadian bacon. We could put sausage. We could put hamburger. Choose your own excitement. That's the key here, guys. But at all times, please let the food be the star. Because you know what? Food is so delicious. Food is gorgeous. Food is like, food makes you happy. And when you make beautiful cheese pizza like this, and you don't have to go down to the New York place to get your pizza, and you can just say, I'm making New York slices at your own house. I'm making pizza pie over here. Is I like to trim this around the edge, but I like to leave enough for grabbing. Because you never know when you may have to grab the edge of the paper and pull on your pizza. So I like to leave a good amount, maybe a couple inches or so, around the pizza. Another thing I think is super important in this world, and that's cracked pepper. It just, to me, makes it one more level of entertainment. Guys, so gorgeous. All right, guys, as you can see, I'm gonna put this right on to my stone, and I'm gonna push that back. All right, there she is, guys, in all her glory. Just waiting to just start bubbling. Let's take a quick peek, guys, and see how good she looks. Wow, I love it. Oh yeah, guys, look at that bubble action right there. I like my pizza crispy, so look at that. It's been in about 6 minutes, guys. We're talking gorgeous. Oh my goodness, look at that. Homemade cheese pizza. Need I say more? Just look at this beauty. Try to do a left-handed cut on her. Look at this. She's nice and thin. She's got a little bit of crisp. I can't explain to you how much more crisp it gets if you use the pizza stone and use it correctly with the pizza peel. It's unbelievable. But as you can see, guys, this makes incredible cheese sliced pizza. This is gonna taste just like a New York pizza when you go down and get one, you know, like at a New York slice place. I rate this pizza high. I rate this pizza high because I made it. All right, let's see. Let's cut some more slices up. Let's see, guys, this, I can't explain. Look at that gorgeous cheese pizza though. I mean, it's so greasy and gorgeous. You have to try it. Try it by it, guys. Try by that pizza. Delicious. I could have cooked this a little bit longer. I could get more, less flop out of it. But like I said, I like to do a reheat. But the flavor here, guys, is unbelievable. We're talking New York pizza. The crust. It's got some crisp. Really good pizza. What I like about this pizza, the bread dough is so light and flaky. I know it sounds crazy, but it almost seems healthy. Make sure to smash that like button. That's if you liked the video. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down, I guess. Thanks for watching. And make sure, leave some ideas of what you want to see next. I think I'm going to start doing some eating videos. Let me know what you think. As always, cheers.